So to start at episode 3, we're checking out league leaders, and Aaron Judge won the Triple Crown in the American League. Only a 293 batting average to lead the league, 46 home runs, and 119 RBI. So it's not the most impressive Triple Crown, but it's a Triple Crown. 409 on base percentage. That's very Aaron Judge. That is very Aaron Judgy, and the only player in the league with an over 900 OPS with a 1017. So he decided to go over 1,000 when no one else went over 900. Again, very realistic for Aaron Judge. Chandler Simpson, the fastest player in the league in real life. Can't hit the ball out of the park to save his life, but whoopsie. Can't hit the ball out of the park to save his life, but man, can he steal a base. 50 stolen bases, only caught 5 times to go with a 274 batting average. So he got on base, too. He just cannot hit the ball out of the infield. He's a fast man, but he does not hit the ball very far. 20 power with 25 inch. That is as low as it gets. Very rare to see a player with that little power in the league at all. It really speaks to his talent as an athlete. Tyler O'Neill struck out more than anybody in the league, in the American League at least. And Gunnar Henderson, the only player in the league with over 3 win probability added. I have no clue how they calculate that stat, but it's impressive that he led the league in it. That seems like a very important stat. Win probability added. I don't doubt that Gunnar Henderson gives us that much win probability added, or that he is really that special of a player. He's got incredible defensive metrics at shortstop. He's a great base stealer, incredibly fast. He can hit the ball out of the park. He can hit the ball gap power. He's just a complete player. 43 doubles, man. Gunnar Henderson is the best player on the team. I don't care who hears me say it. And Tyler O'Neill, 7th in the American League in home runs. Gunnar Henderson, 7th in the American League in slugging. Gunnar Henderson, 5th in the American League in WAR. 3rd in runs, tied for 3rd with Rafael Devers. 4th in doubles. And incredibly 3rd in stolen bases. What a player. What a player. He's going to get MVP votes for sure. 72 extra base hits. Only 8 fewer extra base hits than Aaron Judge. And 5 more than former Oriole Anthony Santander, who is now in our division rival, the Blue Jays, who have also made the playoffs. Just going to take a quick look at the National League leaders on offense. Teoscar Hernandez. Wow. So Teoscar Hernandez gets a Triple Crown in the National League. So it's 2 Triple Crown winners, Aaron Judge and Teoscar Hernandez. Teoscar Hernandez beating out his teammate Freddie Freeman for the batting title, a 311 average, 40 home runs with 124 RBI. So weirdly, Teoscar Hernandez with maybe an even more impressive Triple Crown, at least in terms of raw stats, than Aaron Judge. Shohei Ohtani with a 960 OPS. That's lower than Judge. Teoscar Hernandez 957. How about this Dodgers offense, man? With Hernandez, Ohtani, and Freeman. What was their record, this team? Because they can hit. That is a 104 and 58. That sounds about right. The Rockies managed to avoid losing 110 games. Credit to them in a division with that team, to be honest with you, how bad the Rockies are, how little talent they have on that roster, managing to avoid losing 110 in a division with this is one of the best offenses of all time. Soto, the only player in the National League with an over 400 on base percentage. Imagine if the Yankees still had him. How scary that team would be if they still had Soto. 402 on base percentage to go with whatever Judge had. His over 400, I think, was 406. Tatis leads the National League in WAR. Corbin Carroll with only 5 triples. That is a very lame number of triples to be leading the league. I know it's a weird thing to care about. Bryce Terang with 53 stolen bases. Ellie De La Cruz with 43 is incredible with his range of ability. Schwarber only struck out 184 times. So yeah, Tyler O'Neill really needs to cut down on the strikeouts. There aren't even that many guys striking out 200 times anymore, and Tyler O'Neill is still doing it. He's a very 3 true outcomes player. I mean, he adds the stolen base element, but he could play a good defensive left field. Actually, he'd probably be a better left fielder out there than Vargas. We probably should unlock Vargas from left field just for these playoffs and see if we can rotate the DH position just to try to improve the offense, especially in Rutschman's absence. Try to dial in as good of an offensive attack as we can here for the playoffs, and let's just continue in the pitching leaders here, and we're going to do the American League first. I doubt we have that many leaders here. Our pitching staff really wasn't that good. Bautista, who's now injured, is the only guy, 7th in saves. Anybody else here at all? We had a couple guys in the hold stat Aiken and Soto. You guys like holds. Who's here for holds? Who likes setup men, huh? Let's anybody? Crickets. Pablo Lopez, 2.34 ERA. Tariq Skubal, who is the best pitcher in the world, probably 2.35. Fried, 2.95. Logan Gilbert. I'm a huge Logan Gilbert fan. I love Logan Gilbert. How tall is he? Very tall individual, 6'6". Logan Gilbert is one of my favorite pitchers. Skubal with 19 wins. Jack Flaherty on the same team. Tariq Skubal leads the league with 19 wins, and Jack Flaherty leads the league with 16 losses. Wow, 10-16. Did the Tigers make the playoffs? 16 loss. That's really funny. I guess they just kept, on a 64-loss team, he had 16 of them. I guess they just left him in games real deep. I guess they just let him run, and I guess they just kept him in. They just don't pull him that fast. Dude, I really don't know. That's really interesting. Really interesting. 16 losses for Jack Flaherty. What was his ERA? 4.12. A 4.12 ERA, man. They do not give this man run support, huh? The Tigers really. It's also a low run environment. 4.12 might be. That can't really be a high ERA, even in that run environment. What was his wins above replacement? He had 16 losses and 2.4 wins above replacement. Figure that one out. Figure the wins and loss stat in baseball is really kind of flawed, especially with all the analytics we have now. It's a pretty flawed stat. Logan Gilbert, who I was just talking about, being one of my favorite pitchers, 4 complete games. Eovaldi with 2 shutouts, though. Skubal leading the league with 259 strikeouts. DeGrom with a 10.7 K per 9. I don't care who led the league in walks. That's not a good thing. Gavin Williams, actually, who we're going to be facing here in Game 1, led the league in walks, so that might be a good thing. Put some guys on for us. We got a good chance to work him. We've got some guys who can work the counting us the guy who led the league in walks. But Skubal led the league in a bunch of stuff. FIP for sure. 243 FIP, very impressive. So 204 batting average against. So Skubal should probably win the analytics Cy Young. He might not win the real Cy Young. I might go to Lopez, but my vote would definitely go to Skubal. 7.7 WAR. Yeah, I think he's going to win it. Pablo Lopez has him on ERA, but Skubal's also on a better team. He's the ace of probably the best pitching staff in the league. National League here, Kodai Senga leads in ERA with Hunter Green in second. Good to see Hunter Green finally having a good year. Aaron Nola with 16 losses on the Phillies at 6 ERA. That's more like it, to have 16 losses. Logan Webb leads in WAR. He might win the Cy Young. It's going to be tough to see who wins the Cy Young here. It kind of depends on what Senga's underlying stats here. It'll be interesting to see who wins the National League Cy Young, though. Chris Sale with 12.3 strikeouts per night, still bringing it at age 36, just like in real life. I knew when he went to the Braves, I was like, ooh, that sounds right. That just sounds right? I feel like everyone who knows baseball knew that when Chris Sale got traded to the Braves, like, oh, he's having a comeback. When he was on the Red Sox, there was just something that wasn't quite there. When he went to the Braves, like, yeah, the Braves are going to figure it out. The Braves are going to bring him back. Hunter Green might win the Cy Young. He's leading in a lot of stuff. Barely walks anybody. 1.9 walk per 9. For a guy with stuff like his, that is incredible. To have a fastball that velo, that tick, to be able to control it is nuts. To control it enough to not walk fewer people than anybody in the league. But he's not up there in strikeouts. Sale, 275 strikeouts. I mean, if you like strikeouts, and Cy Young voters do, it's a really interesting Cy Young race here between Green, Senga, and Sale. Who knows? Pick one. All we know is Aaron Nola had a horrible season. He's leading the league in pretty much everything bad. You think they would have given him like a phantom IL stint or something. Alex Viesa dominating the hold stat. I know you guys are here for holds. 31 holds for Alex Viesa. Can we get him in our bullpen? What the hell is a shutdown? I don't even know what a shutdown is. And, 243 BABIP, so Hunter Green got luckier near the pitcher in the league. They might hold out against him. I have no idea. I'm really interested to see who's going to win that. Logan Webb, 2.60 FIP. So we're finally done looking at stats. So we're finally done looking at stats. You guys can take a freeze here and take any look at the team stats. Pick out anything interesting that you want to. Just taking a quick glance here, trying to look at anything special myself. Pittsburgh with only 115 home runs, 507 RBI. Pittsburgh seemed to have a particularly bad offense, 293 team on base percentage, also a bad. I mean, for the Rockies to have this bad of an offense and that much of ridiculous of a run environment is crazy. They still hit almost 200 home runs, so okay, but they struck out 1,616 times. That is the first in the National League, at least by a vast, vast margin. Let's take a look at the AL real quick. The Yankees hit 270 home runs. I think the record is over 300, so that's not the record, but that's a crazy amount of bombs. I mean, Judge helped. Let's see. We actually had a higher batting average than the Yankees. Law, get good, Yankees. We'll see y'all in the division series. We'll see y'all in the division series. Yeah, and cuts to us getting eliminated. 298 for LA. There was no real terrible offense like the Pirates or the Rockies in the American League. Any team have some ridiculous home run and ridiculous lack thereof. Chicago only 125. Chicago struggled by far the most, but they managed to eke out a 303 on base percentage, which that definitely was not the case for them last year. I mean, think about that. It's a 21-game improvement on last season. And look, Anthony Rizzo's here.
All right, so we got to do what we can here to replace Adley Rutschman and Grayson Rodriguez. Let's start by asking Brandon Hyde who he wants in the rotation. It is Sagano. So they're going to have Eflin game one, then Valdez, then Sagano. Not really sure how well that matches up with what Cleveland's offering, to be honest with you. I'm not terribly optimistic. We're going to need to out-hit them. We're definitely capable of out-hitting Cleveland. I know that without looking at their lineup. I mean, we called Cameron Weston up for like one game. I think he's probably eligible, so we'll bring him up. Place him on the playoff roster as well if he's not already. He is eligible, good. And I'm going to try to call up Sam Basallo, obviously to be the backup catcher if it lets me. We can place him on the playoff roster. I think that calls him up to... Basallo is on the playoff roster, good. So Haas and Basallo are the catchers. And then Weston is on the playoff roster. And I don't think he's ineligible. So hopefully when I try to play the game, it doesn't give me any grief or any issues and not let me play the game. Let's see what it does with the lineup here. Okay, it puts Basallo at catcher in the 8-hole and then Encarnacion Strand in the 9-hole at DH. So they have Encarnacion Strand at DH and O'Hearn at first base. Sure. I mean, O'Hearn is a bad first baseman. Part of my problem with him, part of why we aren't re-signing him. Encarnacion Strand is a better first baseman on the defensive side of the ball. So I don't necessarily know if I agree with that, but it is what it is. I don't disagree with it enough to go in and force them to change it. I do like Jackson Holiday in the leadoff spot. I really like either of these orders are fine with me. Maybe I'd slightly prefer Tucker cleanup, but I'm not picky. I don't necessarily love Miguel Vargas. He's a really plus bat. I don't love him not being in the lineup. But we have a really deep lineup. We're pretty much 9 deep. It's 9 good hitters. Again, we should be very capable of out-hitting Cleveland. Speaking of, let's take a look at Cleveland. Leading off, Stephen Kwan. You all know him. Great bat-to-ball guy. 285, 360, 356 this year. Never going to be a big slugging guy, but another example of why I don't like OPS+. Clearly a more productive hitter than a 104 OPS+. He deserves a much higher number in that stat. Nolan Jones, great on-base guy. He showed it, but he didn't hit for great average. He probably strikes out way too much. Yeah, 142. 142 strikeouts in 77 starts. He played 121 games, but only 77 starts. In the 3-hole, they have Jose Ramirez. I am just reading the righty lineup. They have a very different lefty lineup, but you know what? I'm only going to read the righty lineup. Jose Ramirez, one of the best players in baseball, one of the most underrated players in baseball. 277, 338, 500 for an 838 OPS, 3.8 WAR, 4 WAR season. Stole 15 bases. I think his stealing bases would be a little better, but he is 33. Kyle Manzardo, cleanup hitter, dangerous young lefty. Also struggled to hit for average this year, but did put the ball over the fence in the playing time he had. Again, weird. A lot of platoons on this team, I feel like, with 53 games started. I think they really like platooning. Who's their first baseman? They're playing Nolan Jones at... Carlos Santana, rather, is their DH against... 39-year-old Carlos Santana is their DH against lefties. And Manzardo is their DH against righties. Manzardo doesn't start against lefties. Lane Thomas is their right fielder, player I've always liked. Uh, sort of an average bat, but a plus defender. But yeah, see, our lineup is a lot deeper than theirs. Bo Naylor, productive, 20 home runs. But just in general, their lineup doesn't seem to match the production of ours. They're a better defensive team, and they're a team that's definitely built around pitching and defense. Gabriel Arias with 66 RBI, pretty good, but didn't even have a 300 on base out of the 7-hole. Angel Martinez, pretty young player, cutting his teeth in the league, probably not too many expectations. And then Brian Rocchio is a defense first shortstop who had a 56 OPS plus and was a negative WAR player. And let's check out their pitching staff. As we've talked about before, it's Tanner Bybee, Shane Bieber, and Gavin Williams. You put those guys in any order, and it's dangerous. It's going to be tough to hit. And it's going to mean that the series is going to come down to our ability to hit these pitchers. Although I don't really... You got Gavin Williams, who, like I said, I think I said this, he led the league in walks. We did. We noticed that when we checked the league leaders. And then Shane Bieber, just respectfully, only 91 to 93 miles an hour. He kept the ERA down this year, but I bet the underlying metrics weren't fantastic. ERA plus of 107, just slightly above average. So his numbers and his track record suggest an elite starter, but his scouting report and his underlying metrics suggest otherwise. Their bullpen is their strength here. They have a really strong bullpen, just like us. Unfortunately, the strongest part of our bullpen is injured, and the strongest part of their bullpen is not, in their closer, Emmanuel Clase, who nailed down 46 saves and consistently saves over 45 games basically every year. So this is going to be a tough assignment, and it's really going to come down to whether or not we hit. So we are going to finish today and start this series and hope that the players we put on the playoff roster are actually eligible, because I'm always nervous about that. And Kobe Mayo wins Rookie of the Month for September. Nice. All right, here we go. Game 1. Zach Eflin versus Tanner Bybee. Holiday, Tucker, Henderson, O'Neill, O'Hearn, Mayo, Kavser, Basallo, Encarnacion, Strand. For the Guardians, it's Kwan, Jones, Ramirez, Manzardo, Thomas, Naylor, Arias, Martinez, Rocchio, and Bybee as the starting pitcher. And let's do it. Game 1 of the wild card. Here from Progressive Field in Cleveland, Ohio. First batter up, Jackson Holiday. Holiday with a line drive base hit to start the game. That's a good start for your Orioles here in the first inning. Like to see it. Will Holiday be on the move off of Bo Naylor? Tucker out of the 2-hole. Drives one. Double play ball. And it is a double play for the Guardians as the leadoff single from Holiday is erased. Kind of mad, low-key. Gunner. 3-2 pitch. Ground out to a second base, and it's not a 1-2-3, but it is 3 up, 3 down for the Guardians here in the top of the first. And the dangerous Jose Ramirez strides to the plate. And that's a ground out, and it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Zach Eflin and your Baltimore Orioles. Thomas, 1-2 pitch, strike 3, another strikeout from Eflin. Eflin, normally a control guy, but getting lots of strikeouts today. 3 Ks in an inning and 2/3. And he's got an 0-2 count on Naylor here, and he strikes him out. So 4 strikeouts in the first 2 frames for Eflin. He's been impressive. Bybee, 2-2 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop, and he is out. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Guardians. And the Orioles can't get anything done here in their top of the third. Eflin back out for the third inning, facing Gabriel Arias. How will Eflin fare the second time through the order? Ground ball to shortstop. Gets by the diving Holiday for a base hit. Sorry, Henderson is at short, not Holiday. By the diving Henderson for a single. And that is the first hit of the game for the Guardians. They now have a man on first. Up steps the rookie Angel Martinez. Eflin, first pitch of the AB. Grounded to short, double play ball. There's one on to first, double play. And just like that, there are two away as they retire the rookie. Henderson on a 1-2 pitch. That's a strikeout. And Bybee is mowing through the middle of the Baltimore order here. Showing that he did his homework, showing that he read the scouting reports. Keeping the ball down and away from them. Keeping him from driving it in the air. And that's a ground out to second base. And this pitcher's duel just keeps on rolling, huh? Eflin. Third time through the order here against Kwan. Nubbed out in front of the mound. It's Basallo. Throw it at first. Looked high out of the hand, but it's snagged by O'Hearn. And there's one out. Jones grounds it back to the mound. Throws on to first, 2 out. Ramirez on a 1-1 pitch to the Cleveland Star. Pops up to Basallo. It's an incredibly goofy-looking fly ball animation, but you know what? I love OOTP anyway. It's the best game in the world. Wouldn't trade it for anything. Maybe improve the pop-up to the catcher animation. Just constructive criticism there. O'Hearn on a 1-2 pitch. The way the ball is like magnetized to his glove. Ground out to second base. And man, this game just keeps grinding along as a pitcher's duel. Mayo on an 0-2 pitch. That did not look like a strike. That looked inside to me, but okay. Kowser, 3-2 pitch. Can we like hit the ball out of the infield or like hard ever? Is that a single? Nice. Oh no, retired. Never mind. Never mind. He looks safe to me, but up comes Manzardo. 2-2 pitch from Eflin. Strike 3. It's another strikeout. And Eflin is pitching like a strikeout pitcher. I was just complaining about how we don't strike out enough batters. And here comes Eflin making me look stupid. That ball's driven into the gap. Lane Thomas drives a double off the wall. And that's probably the first extra base hit of the entire game. Now we got to watch out for Bo Naylor, and Thomas offers good speed. 1-1 count. That ball's lifted to left, and that's a bomb. And it's a 2-run home run for Bo Naylor. And Cleveland has a 2-0 lead on Baltimore here in the bottom of the 5th. That is what we wanted to avoid as the fireworks spark off in the Cleveland night. 2-0. Eflin, impressive performance up until then, but that third time through the lineup, the power hitters starting to get some play, and there's a hard single. And I'd say if he gets Angel Martinez on him, we're definitely going straight to the bullpen. I don't want him facing Ramirez a 4th time. There's a line drive base hit. Yeah, now we're in trouble. We're going to do outfield shallow. Just because I don't feel like Kwan can hurt us quite as much as the guys coming up after him. First pitch to the AB. He jumps on it. Line back up the middle. It might be 3-0 here. They send the runner home, and he's going to score easily. And it's 3-0 Cleveland. And that is about as bad as Kwan was ever going to hurt us. He could have hit one in the gap and scored 2. But instead, he just knocks a single, has a little mercy on us, and just hits a single. And it's grounded to first base, so we get out of that inning. And we're going to be able to put Koenig in to start the next inning. But we're down 3-0. And that's more damage than I wanted to get up here. And like I said, we're going to have to out-hit the Guardians. We're just going to have to hit Tanner Bybee. That's it. That was always going to be the assignment. That's always what the series is going to be about. We're going to have to hit. And that's a good start. It's a single. It's Basallo. That might be his first Major League hit here in the playoffs. So save that ball. Samuel Basallo with a base hit to the left side. Encarnacion Strand rolls right into a goddamn double play. And we have 2 outs. There was never any hope. Jackson Holliday is just going to strike out, and that's going to be the end of the 6th inning. Did he get hit? Never mind. All right, cool. Never mind. He didn't strike out. Kyle Tucker, get on base. That is getting on base. That is a 2-run home run from Kyle Tucker. That is why we traded for the man. What a bomb. I was right in our death warrant after that double play. And just like that, Jackson Holliday gets hit on an 0-2 pitch, and Kyle Tucker muscles up on an 0-2 pitch. And some really great hitting there from Baltimore. And just as I say that we've got to out-hit our problems, we start hitting, and we start hitting 0-2 pitches off of a guy who we haven't been able to touch up until now, and Gunnar Henderson is going to step in in the 6th inning off a tired Tanner Bybee. I don't know who they have up in the bullpen, but Gunner's got a chance to tie this game, and I would not want anybody else up in this situation. Come on, Gunner. Show him how it's done. Show him how it's done. 2-2 pitch. He's going to hit a weak ground ball to the pitcher. And that retires the side. Up comes Thomas, who had a double last time, and he grounds out to third. And that will do it. Good inning for Jared Koenig. I like that a lot. Let's get a run in this inning, please. Tyler O'Neill with all that power. They've still got Tanner Bybee. 3-2 pitch. Drives one to left. Back to the wall. That ball is gone. Tyler O'Neill ties this game here in the 7th inning for Baltimore. What a home run. And we are powering the ball over the fence, letting our offense do the talking. That is right. Great job by the Birds here in Cleveland. At least putting up a fight here in these playoffs. At least showing that we can hit. I was so scared we were going to lay an egg there for a while, but this 3rd time through the order, we're coming through. Kowser, 3-2 pitch. Oh, strike 3. I disagree. That pitch was in the dirt. I am currently spiking my hat. They're trying to play the national anthem for the 7th inning stretch, and I, the GM of the team, is on the field in full uniform, spiking my cap into the ground. Screaming right in the ump's face, nose to nose, like Joe Girardi and Laz Diaz back in the day. It's interesting they're putting in Clase in the 8th inning. It isn't the middle of our order. It's the bottom of our order. I mean, it might show how scared they are of our entire order, which, fair. Holiday, 2-2. Driven to left, right into the glove. Good exit velo. All the baseball nerds in the analytics department really like that one. They're patting themselves on the back. Jackson Holiday hit that ball really hard. Good, awesome, wow. What an accomplishment, what an achievement. We're running a Major League Baseball team, and we managed to find one player who hits the ball hard with the 1st overall pick in the draft. We did such a great job. We're so special. Cuts entire analytics department. Aiken is still cold. I just want him to face Ramirez and Manzardo. He can give up a single to Kwan if he wants to. Instead, he gives up a ground ball to Kwan back to the pitcher. Is that a single? Yes, it is. Infield single. Terrible. Brian Baker blows the entire game. Everyone in Baltimore hates him. Visit the mound. Aiken's ready. Let's do it. Let's get a double play, please. Please. Actually begging for a double play. Double play depth, not corners in. Why corners in? Get a double play. They bring Yohinski Noel in. And he steals second easily. Aiken, 0-2 pitch to Noel, who I'm sure strikes out more than Chris Carter. And we make the play at first. I was nervous there for a sec. The runner doesn't go to third. 0-1 pitch. Lifted out to right. What a performance by Keegan Aiken as we head to the 9th inning tied at 3. Henderson strikes out, man. Clase is on fire. O'Neill walks. O'Hearn's just got to try to put a charge into one. 1-0 pitch. Grounds it to first base. And Cleveland is going to come up in the bottom of the 9th with a chance to walk this off. Charges one to center. That's out number 2. We are looking pretty good right now. Bo Naylor, who had a home run earlier, to center field. Is that going to get down? No. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Baltimore bullpen. And we're going to extra innings here in game 1. This has been a good one. This has been a fun one so far. Basalo, 3-2 pitch. To short. Got him. 3 outs. And not a great, I was going to say not a great opening salvo, but there was no opening salvo there from the Orioles. We just didn't do anything. Cano, it's Daniel Schneemann, your favorite player, my favorite player. Can we get Schneed? Will we be Schneed by Schneemann? No, he's going to pop it to third base. We don't have to worry about getting Schneed. The Schneeing will wait. As Angel Martinez, 3-0 count. Why are you walking Angel Martinez? Of all the players to walk, he's the worst hitter on the team. We walk him. I'm going to keep the outfield normal, but I don't want him putting one in the gap. It's also a righty against Stephen Kwan. That's a pop-up. What did the ball just do? Okay, cool. But Ramirez. 2-2 pitch to Ramirez. Strike 3. That's a big out. That's a big out of Jose Ramirez. Lane Thomas, been worried about him all night. He hit that big double. 1-2 pitch. Does he have more offense in him? Driven into the gap, but caught out in left. O'Neill covers it off, and we are going to the 12th inning. And it's Gunnar, line drive, base hit. It's a good start to the 12th for us. It's the best start to an extra inning we've had. Really refreshing to see a leadoff runner. I'm very tempted to steal a base here. I'm very tempted to steal a base. Just hit. 1-2 pitch, strike 3. Okay, great. Now we're definitely stealing. I might even force steal. I want this runner on second. Let's send Forced. They're going to throw down to second. He's going to be safe. Should have done that. Should have sent Forced with nobody out. But we've got a guy in scoring position here for Kobe Mayo. 1-0 pitch from Harvey. Driven to center. It stays up too long. Oh, no, it gets over his head. It gets over his head. Around to score is Henderson. It's a double for Kobe Mayo. And Baltimore has a 4-3 lead in the 12th. What a start to the playoffs here for the Orioles. 4-3. And we've got the lead. I did not expect that by any stretch of the imagination at all. And I guess Sir Anthony is going to close this game for us in the next inning. Can Colton Cowser add on? Here with 2 outs. Man still on second base. Strike 3. And we go to the bottom of the 12th. Cleveland is now going to have to tie it as Baltimore have taken the lead on a double by Kobe Mayo over the head of Angel Martinez in center field. Uh-oh. I accidentally hit go. And this game is fucking tied. Great. Well, that's why you guys watch this channel. I mean, Dean Kramer, second home run of the game for, and Dominguez is ready. I could have just gone on this screen and put him in. Wonderful. 3-0 pitch. Well, you know what? Maybe it wouldn't have made any difference because he's going to walk this guy on 4 pitches. Brutal. Brutal. Bunt. We're going to get the and he dropped it. And this stadium is like trembling slightly, I feel like, under our feet here. We are in trouble. You know how these Cleveland fans get when the Cleveland baseball team starts doing stuff in the playoffs. I'm still so mad we hit the button. Rolled out to third base. I feel like we're not getting it out here at all. We do. We get an out at second. We're going to have to send the infield in, though. I don't know why you would get the out at second there. I wonder if we even pitch around Quan. Let's put Soto in. We could try double play depth. But that'd be a little crazy. I don't like the 1 strike count. All Quan has to do is put a ball in play here, and he does. That's a line drive base hit to right field, and the Guardians take game 1 of the wild card series. That is a really, really tough loss. Bo Naylor was really the difference maker there. You can get on me about hitting that button by accident, but I mean, yeah, it is a righty. We probably should have put in somebody different to face Naylor. Is Naylor a righty? No, Naylor's a lefty. Yeah, we should have put in a... Maybe we should have put in Soto, but I don't know, because there's righties right after him. I really don't know about... I mean, Dominguez wasn't good either. Dominguez gave up a run as well. That was just a tightly contested playoff game with a lot of different chances. And, you know, we did an okay job hitting. I just don't like all the ones. I'd rather we had somebody with 2 hits, like, you know, how Bo Naylor did for them, or even Arias. But yeah, it was really Bo Naylor. Quan with 3 hits too. Yeah, Stephen Quan is a big difference maker. And, you know, if you look at our lineup, somebody that we have a lot of guys here who we would like to trust every time they get up here, in the way that I imagine Cleveland can trust Quan to just get up there and hit a single. And I'm not completely discouraged by that game, but it's a pretty rough loss. Gold Glove Cy Young award-winning god Shane Bieber here, facing off against us here in Game 2. Let's hope I don't hit any buttons by accident and give up any home runs. That is definitely not the first time that's happened to me playing out of the park baseball. I accidentally just like hit the wrong button trying to replace my pitcher and give up a game-tying bomb. That is far from the first time that's happened. Good start to the game here. Jackson Holiday, line drive, base hit. Gunner. Another pop-up. Getting really sick of the pop-ups, man. Getting tired of the pop-ups. Driven out into right center. Caught. As Bieber gets through the first inning without giving up any damage. And we are one early game rally by Cleveland here away from Cancun. From the Yucatan, from Jamaica. From at least Key Largo. I mean, maybe if you're a real homebody and you play for the Orioles, you got Virginia Beach right there. You could fly out to, is it Bermuda? Is that the island that's sort of near Virginia, like off the coast? So you got into the Atlantic Ocean a little bit. Anyway, Lane Thomas with a home run. I told you I was scared of Lane Thomas. And as the second batter of the game, he comes up and drives a homer over the left field fence. As Ramirez grounds out to shortstop. I don't know why I'm being so pessimistic. Is that a ground out? It is a ground out. We get to the first inning. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, but bro, I could not tell if he was safe or out there. I was looking at him standing on first base. I was like, oh, he must be safe. And then I look back up and he's like, he's out. And then I look back and he moves. Very confusing animations there, OTP. Come on. But we're through the first inning either way. There's a walk. Nice. So we get another leadoff base runner. I'm encouraged by how much we're getting on base. Rolls into, is that a double play? They're going to get the out at first. Yes, they are. But we move the runner over to second with one out. Can Basalo, the youngster, get something done here? He lines it. Nope, second base. Bo Naylor, who's been dangerous all series. Right back to the pitcher. And there's 1-2-3. Cleveland still holds a 1-0 lead, but Baltimore is going to have another chance to get things back even. 3-2 pitch to Encarnacion Strand, and he walks. It's another leadoff base runner for the Orioles. They're going to have to make the most of this here at some point. 3-0 to Holiday. Do not swing. Ball 4. 2 men on. Up comes Kyle Tucker. All right. This might be the best situation we've been in any inning in this series so far. We are actually set up here with multiple guys on base and nobody out for Kyle Tucker, who drives one to left. Base hit. That will and it gets by him. It gets by him. I said that was going to load the bases, but an error. And how many runs score? Just one. Encarnacion Strand scores. Holiday over to third, and it's second and third with nobody out. And Gunnar Henderson, will they walk him? Cleveland could be in big trouble here with Bieber. 1-0 pitch, driven into the gap, and that is going to be a 2-run double. Gunnar Henderson doing his job, and it's a 3-1 lead for Baltimore. As I said, we needed to hit, and that is what is happening. I am happy right now. As we put 3 runs past Cleveland here in the third. And if Bieber wanted to prove to people that he still had ace-like stuff, we are proving that to be very much the contrary here. Gunnar Henderson putting one in the gap there. And that's another line drive base hit for O'Hearn. Is Henderson going to score? Yes, sir. It's a 4-1 lead on an RBI single for Ryan O'Hearn. It's 4-1 in the third, Baltimore. Up steps Kobe Mayo. They've got a 1-game lead to play with here and another game at home after this, so maybe it could be a case of Cleveland just handing us this game, but we got to be careful. Kwan, who's been dangerous so far in the series, of course, lofts another freaking single out to left field. He's so consistent. He's such an important part of their lineup. As if we walk Thomas here, yep, they've got parts of a rally right here with 2 outs. 2 guys on and 2 outs for Gabriel Arias. We're lucky it's not somebody with a little bit more dangerous of a bat. He rips one to right field, and we get out of the inning. But if they had a more, think about it. If they had a more dangerous 3-hitter there instead of Gabriel Arias, if they had Naylor or Jones hitting third, I would have been shaking in my boots there. Can we get more done off of Bieber, who's still in the game for some reason? Strike 3 at Encarnacion Strand. Holiday. Ground out to second. Tucker popped up right to the shortstop. Just very easy work here from Valdez. Comfortable 1-2-3 half inning. Still 4-1 Baltimore. Gunnar on a 3-2 count and gets another walk. Bieber is walking a lot. 5 walks here. Not what you want to see if you're Cleveland. O'Neal. That could be a double play. Not going to be. Just 1 out. O'Hearn. That ball gets away. Fly ball out to center. Caught. Nothing doing for the Orioles there in the 5th. And strike three. Another great inning there from Framber Valdez. Encarnacion Strand has also struggled a bit. The bottom of our order hasn't done much, I feel like. It was about 15 seconds late on that pitch. Valdez in his 6th inning of work here. Back against the top of the order for the 3rd time. Kwan into center. Cows are getting a lot of work. They're really hitting the ball to center a lot. Thomas, 3-1 pitch. Valdez delivering to Arias on the 0-0 pitch. Out to center field. And there is the 3rd out of the inning. And it's 6 strong innings here for Framber Valdez. Very, very strong performance here from Framber. I don't know when the last time there was some scoring in this game was. The 3rd inning. It's just been dueling zeros since then. It turned right into a pitcher's duel after that big inning from us. Framber to Jose Ramirez, 3-1 pitch. If Cleveland's going to start a rally, it would be with this man. Ground out to catcher. Basalo, he's safe at first, looks like, yes. Infield hit for Ramirez. Nolan Jones, 1-2 pitch. Back out to center. Cowser, 1 out. Santana on a 3-2 pitch. Ground out to third base. Long throw from Mayo. 2nd out of the inning. And Valdez still on 88 pitches here in the 7th. Pitches to Naylor, who can make a difference really quick, but he walks. Martinez. Strike 3. Very little. Oh, what happened? Oh, no, it was a strike. It looked like a walk. There was an 0-2 pitch. How did he walk? It's not a walk. It's a strikeout. And that is the end of the 7th inning. 7 incredible innings there from Framber Valdez. The trade deadline acquisitions in this playoff series so far have been fantastic. Tucker with the home run. And, of course, now Framber Valdez with a very strong start here in Game 2. O'Hearn drives one out to right. Track, wall. That ball is gone. Ryan O'Hearn. His first homer this postseason out into the right field feet, 366 feet into the first row, and it's a 5-1 lead for Baltimore as Baltimore continues to hit here in this wild card series. The offense for sure making its presence known. Fly out to center field for the 2nd out. Colton Cowser takes a 2-0 pitch and grounds it down the first base line for a single. He's going to go to second. The throw not in time. Up comes Basalo. Harvey pitched in the last game up again with his 1.64 ERA and gets a fly out to center field from Cowser, who's been catching balls out there in center all day. Figured he'd loft one out there himself. Bottom of the 8th, and Valdez is going to stay in here on 97 pitches to start this inning. Kwan lines out to shortstop. Valdez to Lane Thomas, 3-2 pitch, gets him, strike 3, and it's 8 innings from Framber Valdez. And all the boomers sitting in their lazy boys are probably going to get real mad when I take him out and don't let him pitch the complete game. But 114 pitches over 8 innings, 7 strikeouts. Valdez, 2 walks, 1 home run allowed. An incredible start from Framber Valdez over 8 innings. And that's going to bring us to the bottom of the 9th inning where we have a chance to close this thing out. Strike 3, he's still out there balling out on 119 pitches at this point. To Jose Ramirez, it's kind of insane. Okay, Brian Baker's ready. That's enough, Framber. 119 pitches is enough. Thank you. As here comes Brian Baker to take on Jose Ramirez with a 4-run lead. Ground out to first. We got 1 more out to get, and we will have tied this series. A series that if we would have gotten 3 outs in Game 1, we would have just simply won by now. But that was a very fun Game 2, and a very clean, very fun win for your Baltimore Orioles, who make their presence felt very much so here in the Wild Card Series. And it is 1-2-1. Framber Valdez, absolutely player of the game. I don't want to hear anything else. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. To beat Shane Bieber, who gave up 4 runs with 5 walks, and that was a big thing, the patience in this game. And also, I said I wanted some 2-hit performances with Ryan Hearn with that 2-hit performance, including that home run. But it's been even production throughout the lineup. Only 6 hits, but I can't say I'm unsatisfied with how this offense is performing, especially given what a performance we got from Valdez there. And props to Sam Basalo for, even though he hasn't been hitting, being able to catch such a great game in the playoffs as such a young catcher. All right, so the headlines write themselves here in Game 3. It's all about Tomoyuki Sagano, who is really the definition of a rotation depth guy and is going to be tasked here with a very high intensity, high stakes playoff start, who I would much rather be handing to, Paul Skeens or Garrett Cole or maybe Shohei Ohtani. But instead here it's Tomoyuki Sagano, who has had a very respectable season for us, was even our leader in strikeouts. But I use that as an example of how a guy with a 6.3 K9 who, and 40 stuff, 94 mile an hour is his fastest fastball, and no pitch of his 6 over a 40. Him leading our team in strikeouts is not a good thing and is a problem that needs to be addressed in the offseason. And let's see if we are going to go to the division series or not. Gavin Williams in to face Jackson Holiday. Let's start game 3, and it's a 3-0 count I see to start. So I'm already encouraged. Wind blowing right to left at 12 miles an hour. Windy day on the lake here. Ball 4, good start. It's more early base runners. That ball's chopped over the mound, and that's an infield single. Great start to the inning here from Holiday and Tucker. I like this start to the game. Gunnar Henderson, 3-1 pitch. Flown out to right field. A little disappointed. Up comes O'Neill, I would assume. Yes, sir. Tyler O'Neill, 3-2 pitch. Strike 3. O'Hearn. Line drive. Out to short, throw to first, and into and out of trouble there. As the Orioles threaten. And now it's Sagano. And I have been kind of dreading this ever since I realized that Sagano was going to be in our playoff rotation. He just isn't the kind of starter that I like in a playoff game. And if he's starting off by walking guys, I'm already a little nervous. Jose Ramirez, with a runner in scoring position, lifts one to right field, but it's going to be caught by Tucker, and they're not going to test his arm. There's 2 away. Manzardo now with that same runner out in scoring position. 3-2 pitch, grounded to first base, and that's going to do it for the first inning. Encarnacion Strand grounds out to short. And that will do it for the Baltimore threat here in the second inning. Wasn't much of one. And that's not nailing anything down. That's a double down the line for Lane Thomas, who has been trouble for us all series long. And Naylor lays down a bunt. It's going to move the man over to third, and just as we talk about needing to play good defense, we throw the ball away. And Naylor once again making us screw up. And it's a 1-0 lead for Cleveland. And Bo Naylor is our tormentor. Ign me, thy name is Bo. Sugano with maybe his first strikeout. That one's lofted to center on an 0-2 pitch. That's incredibly frustrating. Maybe if we had a guy with strikeout stuff, we wouldn't be giving up hits on 0-2 pitches. And it's a 2-0 lead for the Guardians. On a 3-2 count. Line drive, that's a base hit. He's going to go to third. First and third, 1 out. Big at-bat here. Fly out to center field. That's going to score a run, though. Doubt that Kaiser can throw that guy out. He doesn't. It's a 3-0 lead for Cleveland. I mean, we can turn this around with one big fly. You know we can with this offense that we have. But still, I don't like being down 3-0 in a winner-takes-all elimination game. Tucker, line drive. That's going to be a base hit. Will Tucker score? Sorry, Holiday. No, he won't score. First and third, nobody out. It's grounded to second. They just get 1 out. The run scores. O'Hearn, 2-1 pitch out to center field. Base hit. Will he score? Yes, sir. 3-2. That's a clutch RBI single by Ryan Hearn. Tucker coming around. And it's a 3-2 game as we have immediately answered back to their offense. And we are clearly not going to take this lying down off Gavin Williams. That's a walk. I don't like it. He's a control pitcher and he's walking guys. That's his second walk. The 3-2 to Manzardo, grounded out. Sagano on a 1-1 pitch. Flown out to center field. That's going to make it 4-2. It's not the absolute end of the world, but it's still not the best work from Sagano. Maybe just let Sagano attack the bottom 3 here. Great play there by Mayo. Spears it down the line, gets up and guns it. Great throw. 3-2 pitch. That's a base hit. I'm done. I'm done with Sagano. I think they're going to hit Sagano. If we go through the third time in the order, they're going to batter him around. It'll be 8-2. Kwan still gets a line drive and a base hit. That's not shocking. It's not really about getting Kwan. It's about getting the guys we can get, like Nolan Jones. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to second base. Make that play. Thank you. It's still 4-2. We're still in striking distance. But the Guardians are giving us kind of all we can handle. This is a real close series, though. And Holiday absolutely destroys that pitch. 4-3. What a bomb by Jackson. No doubter off the bat. Wonder where he got that power from. Tucker. 3-1 pitch. That's a line drive and a base hit. We came to hit in the fifth. We understood the assignment. Third time through the order, Williams is having a little trouble. Grounded down the first base line. Go, run. Why did he stop? Second and third. Tyler O'Neill, 3-0 pitch. They walk him. Bases loaded. Nobody out. How's this for drama? Ryan O'Hearn, what could be his last game as an Oriole. But not if he has anything to say about it right now. 1-1 pitch. Come on, Ryan. Grounded to first base. Down the line. Under the glove. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. Ryan O'Hearn with an RBI double. And it's a 2-run double. Oh no, it's a triple. Never mind, it's a throwing error. So it's a 3-run double for O'Hearn. The ball gets away. O'Hearn scoots it to third. Baltimore, what a moment. That ball got right under the glove of Jones. 8-hit performance so far for Baltimore here halfway through the game. And up comes Kobe Mayo. That one's driven to center. That should score a run. I'll be mad if it doesn't. O'Hearn tags, comes home, safe, 7-4. And despite a rough outing from Tomoyuki Sagano, the Orioles have out-hit their pitching problems as I said they would need to. That's a base hit. 9th hit of the game. Kowser joining in on the fun. Basallo. That's a double play. And an 8-man bat for the Orioles. 5 of them score. 3 of them get out. And it's a 7-4 Baltimore lead. And they're putting more guys on. Unnecessary base runners against our offense is not the smartest idea. Jacob Junis in out of the bullpen for Cleveland. 3.8 ERA. Henderson, line drive, base hit to center field. Is that going to score a run? It should. Is it going to be 8-4 Baltimore? Encarnacion Strand around the throw home. He is safe. And they cut off. It looks like they cut off. Who'd they cut off? Tucker. Tucker went for third on the throw home and got thrown out by the cutoff man. But it's an 8-run on a 10th hit here for Baltimore in the 6th inning. You can feel the tension in the air here in Cleveland. They know they've got a big task in front of them with an offense that might not be the most capable of fulfilling it, as Dean Kramer is doing a great job out of the bullpen, eating up the middle innings of this game. He gets a pop out to Basallo for the 3rd out. Double play depth here with 1 out. 3-1 pitch. They walk Nolan Jones, who's known for his eye. And there's 2 guys on here for Jose Ramirez, and they could pretty easily get back into this game here. Not if I have anything to say about it. Not if Keegan Aiken has anything to say about it out of the bullpen. Keegan, get in there and get a K, buddy. 3-2 pitch. Big pitch here from Aiken. Popped up. First base, Ryan O'Hearn. And that is the 2nd out of the inning, and a big one at that. Noel can also put a charge into one, though. Got to be careful with him. 1-1 pitch, flown out to left field. There is O'Neill, and we hold our 8-4 lead heading into the 8th inning. Naylor, who's been trouble all series, providing some of the most memorable moments. Strike 3. Arias on a 1-2 count. I say his name like Arias, like he's going to do anything? No, he doesn't do anything. 1-2-3 inning. And we are going to try to close out this wild card series here in the bottom of the 9th. Up comes Yanier Cano. And it's time to celebrate in Baltimore with 3 more outs. Strike 3. And there's 2 down. Stephen Kwan, 1 more out. The 1-0 pitch to Kwan, lofted to center. Cowser is there, and the Baltimore Orioles, despite a rough loss in Game 1, come back and out-hit their problems to make it to the division series to win the wild card series. That was a very, very fun little playoff series there on the road in Cleveland, where we overcame some really tough adversity and actually did such a good job pitching, especially in that game. What a job we did pitching after Sagano. Sagano got roughed up, but he did his job. He gritted his teeth. He got through it. And we really roughed up Gavin Williams and got to him. And eventually, actually, Sagano did end up having a much stronger performance than Gavin Williams. Neither starter did a fantastic job. But this was a very, very entertaining game that I'm very happy to win. Ryan O'Hearn with 4 RBI, of course, with the big homer. Holiday also with a home run. Henderson with a home run. We hit the ball over the fence. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was just Holiday with a home run. What's wrong with me? O'Hearn with doubles. And Martinez is really the only hitter for them, which I think speaks. We really were able to keep a lot of their offense off the board. Manzardo didn't have a hit in the series. Nolan Jones didn't have a hit in the series. Most importantly, we kept Ramirez to 083 with luck, no home runs, no RBI. O'Hearn with 6 RBI in the series. I could go with 4 in that final game. I am very, very happy with how that series went, and let's see who we are going to be playing in the next round of the playoffs. I mean, New York. We know it's going to be New York. Seattle beats Toronto 2-1. San Francisco ousts Arizona. And Cincinnati beats the Phillies in what's got to be considered an upset there. So it's going to be the Mets and the Reds and the Dodgers and the Giants. The Reds, definitely a very interesting wild card team here. And we'll see what Seattle has to say about Detroit. This is going to be a very well-pitched series. It's interesting. Seattle versus Detroit is going to be a very well-pitched series, and Baltimore versus New York is going to be a very well-hit series. So once again, it's a very similar story, I think, against the Yankees. It's just that the Yankees, we can try to out-hit the Yankees, but the Yankees are going to hit back a lot harder than the Guardians did.